At roughly 2:30 a.m. on November 1st, the world stood still as Say Cheese TV reported, "Rest in peace, Takeoff." A close source confirmed to us that it was over a dice game in Houston. Now, with this quickly starting to trend on Twitter, everybody sat and waited for other news outlets to report the incident to see if this was true or false. Now, it wasn't long until footage and text messages were released proving that Takeoff did sadly pass away. We even then saw TMZ report to confirm Migos rapper Takeoff sadly passed at the age of 28. Now, as this was trending worldwide on Twitter, witnesses at the scene started posting footage and photos trying to get their sliver of clout from such a tragic incident. Due to that, we were able to piece together on how Takeoff truly passed away. Leave a like on the video if you're a Takeoff fan. I'm curious how many fans are watching today. Now, at 2:30 a.m., Quavo and Takeoff were attending a get-together at a shopping center and bowling alley in Houston, Texas, alongside many close friends as well as music industry workers such as Jay Prince. Outside of the bowling alley called 810 Billiards in Bowling, Houston, there was up to 50 people at this location, standing around in a circle, watching 4 to 6 people take turns playing each other in games of dice. Now, reports state that Migos rapper Quavo was one of the 50 men watching people play. Some reports even state that Quavo was playing dice against the man that he got into a heated argument with, but that is false. Now, the individual Quavo was having a yelling match with remains nameless at the time of this recording, as this individual was calling out Quavo for how he played during a celebrity basketball game just a few days prior in this incident. Witnesses at the scene claim Quavo was starting to say things back to this man, raising his tone as well, as there's TMZ footage that shows the moments leading up to the passing, where Quavo is seen arguing with this mysterious man about basketball. Meanwhile, Takeoff is a few feet behind him, minding his own business, not even saying a word. Now, once Quavo was done with this individual and had enough, he started walking away. That's where TMZ footage reveals the man he was arguing with goes after Quavo, trying to hit him, and this is when Takeoff walks a few steps forward to get into the mix. Now, Takeoff allegedly ran up to help Quavo, where there was out of nowhere firearms being used in this mosh pit of 50 people. A firearm was then used 10 times in the area, and with the sounds of firearms being used, the 50 lump sum of people started sprinting away in all different directions, ducking for cover, hopping over benches and chairs, and running out of the mall doors. Meanwhile, sadly, Takeoff is seen on the floor of the mall with Quavo standing right beside him. Now, sources mention this is Quavo's fault, but do not listen to any of that nonsense at all. Eyewitnesses say Takeoff was affected by 2 strays as he was just standing there minding his own business. Also, while this was going down and everyone was running away, Quavo stood his ground and stayed beside Takeoff the entire time. He didn't even flinch or attempt to leave him. He stood by his brother until the end. So don't put any blame on Quavo whatsoever. Now, police quickly arrived to the scene of the crime. They cleared out the area and tried everything to help Takeoff in the process, but sadly it wasn't enough. Now, during this incident, it was documented there was 2 people using firearms. One's been confirmed to be from Takeoff and Quavo's side. Here's what I found after many hours of research. So for the Halloween holiday, Quavo and Takeoff were rolling with a driver that was driving them around all day, as well as a man named MigoBands. Now, on an Instagram story, you'll see MigoBands sitting in the back seat of their vehicle, and it's seen in all of their Instagram posts throughout the night. Now, here is where it gets very strange. When the argument breaks out between Quavo and the other man, yelling starts breaking out, and someone just so happens to start recording at the perfect time. Now, once his recording starts, you see MigoBands walking towards the lump sum of 50 people. You could tell it's him due to his hat, chain, as well as the Gucci backpack that he's wearing. Now, the camera cuts away and then returns to MigoBands. When getting closer to the group of people, you can see him pulling a firearm out of his waistband, and then a few seconds later in the video you hear a firearm being used. Now, notice here in the screenshots the backpack as well as the single chain he's wearing. It's the same outfit, chains, and backpack as he is in the vehicle. Now, this actually connects perfectly to what a witness posted about what they saw at the scene of the crime. Here's a female named Elizabeth, who was at the scene when it went down. She was at the mall with a group of friends and was kind of sitting in the back where everyone was. Now, she tweeted just hours after the incident occurred, "I'ma speak on this because I feel like I got to. I was right there next to Takeoff. They wasn't arguing about a dice game. Quavo was pressed and Takeoff was then hit by strays as firearms were used for no reason. Rest in peace, Takeoff. He didn't deserve that. He was to himself the whole night." Now, this tweet also had text messages attached to it. People are assuming it's her boyfriend that was standing in the pile of men playing dice. That has not been confirmed though. Now, the text messages read, "Firearms just started ringing, but they were coming from somebody the Migos was with. He was using his firearm wild and hit Takeoff on accident. Then the other people started using their firearms back, and I think he got hit again. But ultimately, it was his own guys who did it to him. Because when he got hit the first time, I just saw him. Quavo was mad over some small stuff. It really wasn't worth it. Takeoff was the coolest and quietest guy in that room the whole time. He wasn't even saying a word, just chilling in the cut. He didn't even know what was going on. He just jumped and got it. Houston for sure is about to be a no-fly zone because the M's are supposed to be protecting these artists." Now, in that text messages, it claims everything perfectly to what I stated earlier, and that it was most likely Takeoff's man that affected him in this situation. Now, just wait, however. Here's where it connects even more. Another bystander at the incident did an exclusive interview with popular YouTuber Storm Monroe. Now, she stated during this little get-together event at the mall, it was set up by J Prince Jr. Now, she stated it's a very standard line. If you want to hang out with J Prince Jr. and go to one of his events, there is massive security checks that you need to pass before being entered. Now, his security checks every single person that comes to an event. Not one single illegal item, such as a firearm, can get near Jay. However, the only ones allowed with firearms are the people that protect him and the people that protect his guests that they invite themselves, aka the Migos. Now, having Takeoff's boy MigoBands have a firearm is technically very likely, as he's most likely not only there to hang out, but also protect Quavo and Takeoff. So when you really think about it, him being in his situation where he sees Quavo getting into an argument where there's yelling involved with a random individual he may not know, him pulling out his firearm as seen in video is pretty likely. Now, the Takeoff passing was obviously not expected. Rappers in the industry started sharing love for him, such as Rich the Kid posting this on Instagram. "Today, I lost more than a brother, my twin, my best friend, everything. I don't want to believe it. I can't. The most humble person I know. We used to share clothes and shoes before we made it, no problem. I miss you. Already, you didn't deserve that. I can't stop crying. I love you so much, bro, forever." This then even led into Drake posting on Instagram, "I got the best memories of all of us seeing the world together and bringing light to every city we touch. That's what I'll focus on for now. Rest easy, Spaceman Take." Now, if you made it this far in the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for everything in this case. I'll even get the court files next video. Make sure you subscribe and leave a like on the video if you're a Takeoff fan.